Good morning. Welcome to our webinar, Reinventing Your Quantum Biofeedback and Bioresonance Practice Skill and Ego Eductor by integrating Healy, a way to adapt to the new world after the lockdown. So my name is Jacqueline Jacques. For those who do not know me, this is my professional expertise. I have been a management consultant. I had a career change due to a diagnosis of multiple sclerosis. I have been a practitioner, quantum biofeedback and bioresonance coach trainer for more than 15 years. I am founder and CEO of Bioquantique Soul in Geneva, president of Helping the World Association in Geneva, quantum activist, and a newly Healy World member. First, I would like to say about this disclaimer. This presentation is for informational purpose only. Anyone with an illness should be treated by a qualified health professional. So, what I believe today is that our world will not be the same after this lockdown. There will be a before and an after lockdown. Are you ready for that? So why do I say that? What would be the impact of this lockdown on our clientele? I will translate this quotation here. People only accept change in necessity, and they see necessity only in crisis. So there was a crisis over the last few weeks and months. So my conclusion is that people are ready to change. Even people will want the change, okay? So that is wonderful. So it is very much a nice time for us now, practitioners and therapists, to bring new, I would say, new way of working. And also there is this quotation here. Man needs difficulty to be healthy. Okay, so this is unfortunate, but I think this Carl Jung had a good observation. So the objective of this presentation is to understand the impact of this lockdown on our working environment, to prepare for possible futures, and then because we believe there will be new clients' need, and to explore the Healy device as a way to adapt our practice to the new environment and clientele's need. So this is not a full Healy presentation. There are presentations by the head of the Healy Academy that are available. So this is, I will be able to give you all those details in case you need more information. But today we just want to try to see how we can adapt our practice. So when something happened in my life, I used to be a management consultant. So I am good at assessing things. So assessing my practice activity during the lockdown. I like to see, what happened during this lockdown. What were my strengths, my weaknesses? Are there some opportunities for me in this? And what are the threats? This is a SWOT framework, is known by many consultants. This is what we use. So in fact, what were my strengths and what went good for me in my practice during this lockdown? What was my weaknesses? What went not so good during this lockdown? And are there some opportunities? Are there any positive thing in this situation? Can I bring a plus value in this kind of situation? What can I do for the future? Or what ideas that came after this lockdown? And what the threat? What if I do nothing? What will happen if I do nothing? If I continue and maintain what we call the statu quo. So the challenge of the lockdown, we all know, but just to summarize, there was this newness of the virus that created uncertainty. There was a lack of knowledge from the expert, which is destabilized everyone. Everybody were in reaction mode. There was a huge psychological impact for this virus and the containment or lockdown through the media, TV, and internet, and everything. There were those travel restrictions that were very, very, very difficult for many people. There is a need, to be able to help customers despite the travel restriction. So this is really something that came to me very importantly. And there was this loss of revenues for our clients, but also for the practitioner. And today it is difficult to predict what will be the future. We know that according to the quantum physics, that it is difficult to predict the future. There is always possibilities, or possible futures. So I just thought, well, let's see what are the scenarios. Scenario one, there could be still, again, some period of limitation that could be extended. There will be some uncertainties, and I would say people will not be so much comfortable. Scenario two, well, return plain to normal, return to our routine, everything will, come back. And the scenario three, and this is the one I believe that will be our future. A wave of change travels the earth. People want change, and including us, okay? So you remember, I just always want to remind, this ancient Chinese wisdom. The wise man treats the disease before it appears, not after. He imposes order on the disorder before it appears, not after. Treatment with drugs once the disease has developed, or enforcing order after the disorder has developed, is like digging a well when you are thirsty, or making the sword in the middle of the battle. So it is too late. So there is a healthcare paradox also. And then this is something that is important to understand. So in general, we think that everyone involved in healthcare systems seek to eliminate or eradicate the disease. But those same people, they need sick people to make a living. In fact, they have no interest in the disappearance of disease. And this is true in the field of conventional medicine and alternative medicine. So as long as the doctors, the therapists earn their money from the illness of others, illness is meant to continue to exist. This is boring, but we need to face it. This is probably real, okay? So we continue. In the quantum world, we create our own reality. So let's take the United States. In the United States only, there are, in 2020, there are 1.1 million of doctors. So each of those doctors, they need 10 or 26 people every day, to maintain their lifestyle, to maintain their clinic and lifestyle, and to pay the staff and everything. And this is practical. They need that, okay? So to this number, of those doctors, we should add the psychologists, the psychiatrists, the naturopath, the chiropractors, the alternative therapists, homeopath, and everything. So, in fact, just think, that in the morning they say, well, I need clients. Because I need the money, because I have so many people who depend on me. So, in fact, we need to just maybe try to reverse the thing. Can we create another reality? I believe yes. If doctors and therapists develop new service offering focused on developing the full potential of the client, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relational, love, family, and everything. So I believe I just gave a quick view of what could be, what is the potential of wellness that we can reach. So many people will work, they will look to make sure that they have no medical treatment. Some other people will look for no symptom. Some other people will look at, well, okay, try to integrate the body and the mind wellness. Okay, they can see or understand that the mind has an impact on their body. And then some other people will look for anti-aging. Well, I'm not so sure that we are so much good at there. There is a few things, but, then we could go to regeneration. There is a problem with an arm, we can rebuild, this arm. If there is a problem with the liver, we can recreate the liver. Okay, so some other possibility, longevity. We know that some people will live, 300 years, 800 years. It is possible. We can go to the re-aging. I am 69 years old. I can go back to 45 years old, okay? And there is, this new concept of the bio-indefinite mortality. So what it is that well, you can see it is indefinite, so you can live, as long as you need. So the idea of this, you might say, Jacqueline, you're dreaming. I am not dreaming. Well, I am maybe dreaming if we consider the situation today. But I believe that we have technology and there will be new technologies, but at least if we can use the technology that we have now, we can develop some of those things so that the children of our children will be able to experience some of this, okay, here. So my assessment is that we have the best technologies, whatever technology that we have, okay? I don't want to say here which one is the best, but I believe that my device is my best for me, okay? Unfortunately, according to me, we are not using the full potential of those technologies that are on the market today. The potential of our technologies, we can develop more the brain and cleanse all the DNA work, the RNA, the trauma of ancestors that are impacting so many children and people, including me, including everybody. All the science of epigenetics, the science of stem cell, we could do so much. The anti-aging, again, now there is something, some people are just working on the anti-aging, but how many people do we see that live so long, okay? The spiritual dimension, there are plenty of things. We are told that Einstein was thinking about that there are many, at least 10 dimensions. So what do we know about this? The time travel, the superpowers, so many things. So what I believe is that our main zone of work is located here. No medical treatment. We try to work on symptoms, and we do some emotional work. But they are full of this potential. We are not so much involved in it. And why? It's not necessarily our fault. Okay, let's see. Why don't we use the full potential of our technologies? Because mainly, I would say, mainly the clients are not ready. They are not well prepared when they come to our session, okay? They do not have the basis of the basic, I would say, body basic functioning of their system, allowing us to go deep in our therapies. So we spend precious of our time is used on basic harmonization, the liver, the immunity, the zapping of bacteria, the zapping of this and the zapping of this. We zap gingivitis and this type of thing. This is basic stuff, okay? So the client also is not involved enough in his therapy. He is expecting the device to do the work, okay? Also, another problem is that sessions are not so frequent enough. We can say, yeah, well, I have people who are coming every 2 weeks or every week, but once every week is still not enough, according to me. If we really want to do something, to go in this longevity and regeneration and everything, and it is not, 1 hour and a half, and then the person go back, go back to her home with all kind of stress, the Wi-Fi, and then, all stress in the city. So there is a problem here. We are told that in China, the acupuncture treatment, they will do it twice a week. So, so this is something, but, even if we have people who just want to come frequently, they don't have the money, okay, to pay for all of those sessions. So the practitioner have a tendency to perform routine work. There is a lack of training also. People, they will look at, wow, it is working, the voltage of our hope is good. Well, okay, that's okay. I believe that we need to really look at that. The therapist, let's read this one and then we will see. The therapist does not have a full vision of where he can bring the client, or he does not share his vision to the client. We need to be, I would say, to be a driver, for the client to say, well, okay, monsieur, you come because you have some symptoms. I will try to remove we will try, we will try to, ease, those symptoms, or eventually maybe they will disappear. We cannot make any claims here, But then when you need to say, and this is what I say, monsieur, when the symptom will be gone, this is not the end. This is just the beginning. This is the beginning of where I want you to go. Because I believe one thing, and I always make a joke, and I say the potential is that we can walk on the water. I will take you there. I still do not know how we do it, but this is our potential. Okay. So, it is something that is important, to share with the client. And most of the practitioner, as well as the client, they focus on symptom disease. They do not have a full understanding of the disease. And then the therapist often is not the product of the product. He does not use a device on himself or herself. Some people will say, yeah, I do a session once a month. Well, once a month is not enough, according to me. And we need to eventually use a device, more and more, because we should be able to just, and I talked about myself too also, okay? But I'm trying to do session, so much. My device is always running. But there is somewhere, we need to, really do this, I would say, this work on ourselves. And then the client need more coaching and more education. This is the main thing. But we have a lack of time to do coaching or education during the session. There is always this money pressure. We need to have a schedule. We need to have so many clients. We don't have time to talk. As well as the same thing for the doctors. Okay, so there is a bit of this is like the problem of our, I would say, of our industry. And also there is a lack of leadership and inspiration in the quantum community. This is my understanding. I really believe that we could be a lot more, I believe, as a community. And then I always like to tell people, anyone who dies before the age of 120 is an untimely or premature death. This is a French doctor who said that, and I believe this, and we need to put this in the mind of the people to say, well, we can live longer. And many people will say, oh, I do not want to live that long. I don't want to live that long because they see that the people who are at that age, they have lost a lot of functionalities and everything. But what we want to make sure is that we want to live longer but healthy, and then with full of our functionalities, working, can be able to even run, even have good memory and everything. So the challenge after the lockdown. So what is happening? So we need to make sure that. Well, first, I am quite sure that most of the people could not attend, to the client so good, okay, maybe by the phone, but, so we need to better serve our customer according to the possible future. We need to say, well, what are the possible futures, and we need to be prepared. And so we need to do more prevention so that the people, if something like this happened again, people will say, well, I'm quite good. My immune system is good. I'm quite sure that nothing will happen to me and my family, okay? And then we need to be able to ensure that we have effective and safe tools to assist our client, whatever this future. So whatever, if the person, what we say here, to develop greater capacity to work with a confined client or a distant client. We have clients that are, far away, and then we say, okay, well, let's do a distant, virtual session. And I believe, and I work in virtual. But to work in virtual, it's not necessarily what everybody is ready, or that they can understand, that it is possible to have only a distant session. And I believe that not everybody are ready to receive a distant session. Okay, they are so much involved in stress and then in their whatever bad diet and everything, and then just a distant session will certainly help. But will it really help to remove all the whatever the problem? I'm not totally sure. Okay. And also we need to make sure that we understand the limited budget issues, the problem of limited budget from customer. eventually we might have to decrease some of the fees of our session. And then we need to be in a proactive mode. We need to have the toolbox ready for any circumstances. We need to optimize our time with the client so that we have time to educate our client. We need to develop new service offering for the client where, we have this, I would say, more possibilities, short session, longer session, maybe short and more frequent. Okay, so this is what we need to do, I believe. Those ideas to help many clients rebuild their job and finance. This would be something that if we can do that and help them to say, okay, well, let's try to work on this finance thing, because this would create so much problem, this situation about the finance. And we need also to continue learning and make our industry to develop and reach new level of result. And I believe so. It has to. We can use this lockdown and situation to say, well, okay, and to have the quantum biofeedback and bioresonance be known more. So the cause of disease, according to Marcus Schmicke, who is the founder of this Healy, he said, well, just, basic stuff. The disease is an imbalance in the information field, which is the link between the material and the consciousness, the link between the body and the mind. It is neither a physical thing nor a mental thing. It is something that can translate body language into language of consciousness, okay? Life means body and consciousness, spirit and matter, which need to be in harmony. That is when they separate. And I read also somewhere that I just summarized like this: disease appears when an individual is not at the right place, doing the right thing with the right people at the right time, okay? And this is, you could just take this and say, well, okay, hey, I could be a coach for that, to help people to be at the right place, doing the right thing with the right, I made a mistake, sorry. I just trying to correct here. Sorry about that. With the right people at the right time. Okay, so then I made a mistake. My age here. Sorry, I made a problem here. I reread. Okay, then we can have a coaching practice. To help people to be at the right place, doing the right thing with the right people at the right time. Okay. And also, we always remember, that we are many energy, and we need to master it. We need to talk about this. We need to tell more about, about this fact that we are many energy. And then Marcus Schmicke, he will tell that we are that deeper than the energetic body, there is this information field, okay? And we need to reinform this information field. So we need to better understand, all those dimensions, okay? Some tips to reinvent our quantum biofeedback and bioresonance practice. We need to have a paradigm shift from treating symptom and illness to preventing disease and promoting wellness and regeneration. So I need to say one thing, is that I am sometimes surprised to see what I see on Facebook, in our quantum biofeedback groups. When people ask, I have this problem, I have a client with this problem, what can I do? And people would say, oh, do that, harmonize this, zap this, and, But very few people will say, have you looked at the emotional, situation of the parents and things like that. Like when I see they talk, there is problem with children, and everybody do the zap and everything, all those nice therapies. But according to me, what they say, what we are told is that all the psychological problem of the parents will become biological for the children. So this is, if you remember this, then there is a new approach, that we can really integrate our practice. And I hope that on Facebook there will be change, because I am really surprised about the response of the many people. We need to have vision and share the vision with the client. We need to understand and integrate the basic concept, quantum physics, quantum medicine, information field, morphogenetic field, biophoton, informational medicine, epigenetic, biogenealogy, trauma, deconditioning. This is all the things that we can do, and then we need to develop, all this science and all those techniques and integrate everything, so, and to be able to tell, and to educate the client. We need to optimize the time in our session. This is clear for me, to develop new offering and be more result oriented. We should be able to, let's say when I see that there is a problem, and then people will say, oh, I had session, maybe 10 sessions with the client, and the problem is still there. Hey, somewhere we need to be, we need to see, really that there is, I would say there is improvement, and we should be able to, I would say, measure the improvement. Okay, we could see, and we need to learn about that. This is mainly what we learn as a management consultant, to be able to measure everything what we are doing, and then to educate and coach our client, to make our practice our mission, not only our source of income. And this is so much important, to see, because some people will say, I say, well, do you like what you're doing? Yeah. Oh yeah, I work from home, I have many clients, I have a nice schedule, and this and this. And I say, do you feel that this is your mission in your life? And there was this lady who, she said, yeah. And then she said, well, in fact, no. She said, I think it is more my source of income, but it is not my mission. I believe I have another mission. I did not come on earth to do that. She was a naturopath. She said, I did not come for that. I know I have something else inside of me. And that was just really wonderful. To involve the client in healing and to provide the right tools. And this is where we will come with the Healy, to develop the client, to take charge of his health with Healy, and to make sure that because the more we will involve the client, the more we will be able to go deeper with him. And we need to master our tool. To have the therapeutic tools, we need to know, and also the internet, now. If I say, well, do a session, I do a distance session, but I always show my screen, and, some people will not show screen, but I do. This is always personal, okay, the way of doing things. And then I always contact, with people, and then I share. So this is a way to create relationship. So for me, I always work also with the 8 pillars of health, wellness, and anti-aging: self-regulation, detox, assimilation, hydration, okay, all of this. This is my framework that I use, always have been using this for 15 years. And what is important, that whatever I integrate, it has to fit in this. And the Healy will fit very well in this. So let's see what is the Healy now. So the Healy, this is the small device that we are used with our mobile phone. So we use frequency to improve our physical, mental, emotional life, and contribute. And this device can contribute to our financial independence. So this is also something interesting. It includes everything. What it is, in fact, it is a medical and lifestyle prevention device. And I would like to read here what it is. Why is it a medical? It is a medical device for the treatment of pain and chronic pain, fibromyalgia, skeletal pain and migraine, as well as for the supportive treatment of mental illness such as depression, anxiety, and related sleep disorder. All other applications have benefits, but they are not well recognized by the conventional medicine. So it is a medical class 2A. And then this is all, there is all the registration for CE mark and the FDA registration. And there is a few contraindications, sorry for the French. So it is important to respect, some of those contraindications. We need to know them, and they are well explained, okay? And then here we want, the basic of this device is really to work on the membrane, the voltage of the cell membrane. And we know, and research has proven that a healthy cell has a voltage of minus 70 millivolts. When we say minus, it gives electrons, okay? And then when the more there is stressors are kind of, then the voltage of the cell membrane will decrease to come to the death. Okay, so the idea of the Healy is really to help to improve the voltage of the cell membrane. Okay, and then it has been proven with research that it will increase the ATP production by up to 500%. And the ATP is what? The energy. So this is so important, because everybody needs energy to heal. It is said, in the book of Jerry Tennant, healing is voltage. He said you can have everything you want for the protein and all those vitamins and all those nice minerals and everything. But if your cells do not have the right voltage, it will not work. Okay, so this is something important. And then it will increase the amino acid transport by up to 40%, and we know how much amino acid is important. And it will increase the protein synthesis by up to 70%. And all of those are so important for the neurotransmitter, the hormone, and the DNA and everything, with all the nucleotide, and so it is just wonderful. We will not go too much deep into that. And there is also an effect on the blood, 1 hour. There is a research that has been done. A session of 1 hour with the Healy, the effects on the blood. And then here I have the video that you will be able to check. And this is just quite amazing to see, because we know how much the blood is important, and all those who are involved with, I would say, helping the family. We know that everybody who has the same blood, they will share some common, I would say, problem or characteristics, so we can help all the families working through the blood. So this is just wonderful. And then we have, all the program here. I just want to show some block of program. They have been grouped, okay, with, fitness, beauty, skin, job, learning, protection, the bioenergetic balance of all the organ and system, the sleep, mental balance, meridian, chakras, and good cycle. So the idea here, it's very much interesting. What I would like to show, you will have with this presentation, I include also, or you can ask if they are not there, a description of all the programs. So somewhere, because it is written, and we do not, well, it is written quite small, and we do not have time to read all of those programs, but it is just wonderful to see all the programs. And if we compare with our doctor, it's like if it is all pre-programmed. Those are pre-programmed. And you know what we did, with the home use prescription, we have pre-programmed. So in here, there are more than 140 programs that we can choose, and this is just wonderful. So we will not have time to look at all those programs, but I believe that you can, with the attachment that you have, to this presentation, you can read, all the mental balance, the beauty, the meridian, all of this. You can read each and every one of them. And also what we have here, there is a manual. If ever somebody say, oh, I would like to, to know more about all of those programs, then we have this book. This is a manual that is available for everybody. But I would like to read something for you here, and I like it very much. And this is what we call I would say, the deep cycle program. So I want just to go back and to show you where it is on your form. It is the deep cycle program. And this is very much, interesting, because the deep cycle program, they give this to everybody to make sure that everybody will use this, because it will go deeper, okay? And what they want is that people will use some of those programs in order to prepare, the client. And then once the client, after 14 days, everybody get those deep cycle program. And I want to just to show you a few of those things, because I thought it was great. because it will help, it will help, people. You have, here, you have, because I will want to show you here. I have used some of those programs, and then we will come back. But, I just want to let you know that everything is described, okay? Okay, first application, and it is very good, and there is some affirmation, and, so it is very nice. So the idea now, we will try to see, how it works, because I have also include or attach a brochure if you really want to know what, if you do not have time to read or to listen, to the presentation, just have a look at this brochure. It is attached also to this presentation. It gives you, everything about what is a Healy. And this is why, and all this documentation is translated in 22 languages. So if you are Greek, or if you are Spanish, or if you are French, that is something that is so much interesting. And there is the boost energetic. Sorry, it is French, I wrote here. So they give, when the COVID, came, they just thought, well, okay, hey, we need to give something. And they gave a program, like what they call a protocol. This is what, people, they send this to, the 40,000 people who have the device. They send this to email, and they said, well, okay, guys, if you want really to reinforce your immune system in order to be able to face whatever will come, it's not that we cannot give a claim here, but it's to help, it's suggestion. So that was something that was sent to the people, and they could do. So this is what is wonderful, because people were confined at home, but they had their device with them. So this has always been my goal, to say, well, everybody should have a skio in their home, okay? A skio or an eductor or whatever. So for 15 years, I have had this dream. And the thing is that I needed to face, that it is not possible that everybody will have an eductor or a skio. It is too expensive. So what a deception, because, disappointment, not deception, but disappointment for me. When I realized, I said, well, Jacqueline, you're dreaming, okay? So this is why I have always been waiting for Desiree to produce, an app on the phone. And, since 2016, she told us that she was working on something. So I have been waiting. And then just to realize, lately that it is not done, and it will probably not be done. I don't know exactly the future, but, we need, this type of thing now. In Budapest, what I can foresee is that they will probably develop, a greater program to rent the device, to rent some skio to the people. So this is, I think it is good, but I believe it is not the solution, because by the time you need to learn, you need to have a computer, you need to have, everything. It's not portable. It's not mobile enough. So this is, according to me, the future is in mobile phone. Okay. So this is, I want to show you how it is present in all those programs. There is a special page, for each of those programs, the pain and the learning, and, all of this, and then here with the beauty, the mental, the meridian, and then, the bioenergetic, and then all of this. So, and then there's the protection. I like the protection, because the protection, we don't need the harness. We can just do it like, I will not say, it's not like our subspace, it is like in the environment, okay? In my environment, around 2 meters, from me, I can, I can just wear the device on me, and that's it. And this is, the deep cycle, okay? So, and then I really want to explain to you how it works. And then, so the application is that we have the mobile phone, and when you click on one of the program, it will tell you, we have different way of using, the electrodes, either ear clip or bracelet or adhesive, thing, if to be more local. Okay, I use mainly the one with the program with the bracelet. It has been translated in 22 languages, so you will find out, the Greek, the French, the Spanish, So it is just wonderful. The Swedish, okay? So the Turkish here. So it is wonderful, and this device is available in many countries. And then there is also some other application, for Healy Watch, a digital nutrition program. I will talk to you about that thing. I have not tested it yet, but the digital nutrition program, we can say, well, we have this in our reductor. Yes, we do. Except that if I have my client who come once every 3 weeks or 2 weeks or even once a week, then he will have, this nutrition program only, maybe for 10 minutes or for 5 minutes, during my session. This is not enough. And this is why I feel that we need to do our session. And then once we do our session, we tell the client, okay, now, monsieur, we can see, where are the challenge. And then during, the next week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, depending on the schedule he come, then you will do some of those programs, okay? And then it will be just, to reinforce and to continue to maintain what he got from our reductor, okay? So how does it work? Let's look at that first, and then we'll see. So the basic concept is it will use frequency to increase the voltage of the cell membrane and to improve the intercellular environment. And this is so wonderful. They will talk a lot about the acidity, okay? As I said, I will not go into the science behind that, because this is not the goal of our presentation. It will work with the information field, and we need to reinform the information field, and it will use the concept of bioresonance. And this is what is wonderful, because in Switzerland, bioresonance is recognized, by some insurance company. So you can look at that. And here, when we talk about frequencies, you know about those frequencies. And I guess, and eventually I will talk to you a little bit more about some of the frequencies. I have a few articles, very nice, interesting thing about frequencies, and also a manual done by Desiree. We'll talk later on about that. So the idea, when I click, what had happened? I click on my mobile phone. It takes 5 minutes to connect the Healy with the app. Once you have downloaded the app on your mobile phone, it's free to download the app, and then you can just connect your Healy to that mobile phone, and I can connect it to as many mobile phone I want, but I can not use it simultaneously. Okay, so when I click, I say, well, there is a data protection, and then this is all the program that I have. So it depends on what type of or what edition you bought. So you might not have all the program, but if I say, okay, well, I will click on this gold cycle, it will say, oh, Jacqueline, oh, here it was the circulation. It say, well, Jacqueline, use a harness. Okay, well, that's good. So it will tell me exactly what to do. I don't have even to think, should I use the ear clip or the harness, okay? And then, like, I will give an example here, So this is what will happen on your mobile phone. You will see, this is, a line that will see the progress. And I have a percentage of a progress, of progression. And then I have the intensity here that I could increase or decrease depending on what I feel. So the idea is just you add until you feel some tingling in your hand, and you say, well, okay, no, that's good enough. And what I want to show you here, look at the hertz here. So the frequencies. So what will happen is that at the beginning, the first 5 to 9 minutes, the system will look at or assess, through a quantum sensor that is in the device. It will look at my information field, and then it will say, okay, Jacqueline, each program, let's say for the nerve, there are maybe 400 frequencies. And it will choose like maybe the 8 or 5 or 10, frequency that I need the most. And it will send me the frequency, and then it will change every 10 seconds. And it will give me the progress, okay? And then so here, so at the beginning, this is mainly lower frequency. When in the middle here, it will go to higher frequencies. And look at that here. When I work, that with multiple sclerosis, I work, on the nerves, and then I saw, 478,730 hertz. Oh, I just thought, well, it is wonderful that I have an eductor, huh? Because the skill does not goes into this. Okay, so that is wonderful. I will give you some other example here. So I look at the balance. The balance is like the basic program, and I do this many times. And look at that. At the beginning, it will be lower frequencies, and look what I want to show you. It will tell me, Jacqueline, minus 99% of progress. So that means that I really, really need that frequencies. Oh la la, I just thought, and then it changed, every 10 seconds, and then come back and say, well, is it improving? And then, that type of thing. So this is really, really interesting. And for me, I check, those frequencies, sometime because I like it. I am more of a, I would say, well, I like numbers. I graduated in numbers. Okay, so I am a number person. Okay, I like measure. Okay, so look at that. And then I thought, okay, hey, I know this. I just thought, well, hey, I need to look at this 11.5 Earth, and I will work with my eductor on this. So I will talk to you later on about that. And look at that again, the balance. A little bit later. When this was at the beginning, and then this is like 15-minute program. 50 or 60, I don't remember. And like at the end, it's always higher frequency, 199,220. And look at that. Here, there is no progress. When there is no progress, that means we will send you these frequencies, but you don't necessarily need it fully. It's less relevant than this one. And this one is really relevant. Okay, so, but as I said, I took, those image or picture because I wanted to show you, 675,490 Earth. I want to show you those big high numbers, And what is important, what the people with the skill, they say, well, my skill goes to 25,000 Hertz. Yeah, but if you have a Healy, then you can allow or give some of those frequencies to your body, okay? And to the body of the client, so this is what is important. So I tried here circulation because circulation is a must for me because in the family there is full of problem of circulation. The head, for sure, I try to work, I tried many things, I haven't tried all the program, but the nerves is again, and then again, look at that 1.1 hertz and here 478,000. It changed every 10 seconds, okay? And in here I have, the go-to roots. And this is why it is really important. And I have the description here because I did this program without reading the description. I just thought I like it. So I just thought, well, I like the name, okay, go-to roots. I thought, wow, that's exciting. But look at that here. I feed my roots and grow into strong tree, okay? So the idea is that really when we do this, after we have done some other therapies, and this is just wonderful. And I will show you, you will be able to maybe to read all of this. I don't have to read, do this, but, I just provide, all the information. We have everything to, I would say, interpret. But look at that. Here it went minus 39%, okay? So there was 11 minutes, and then it goes, 11 in the same 1 minute, it goes to so many, okay, of those frequencies. And sometimes it will repeat, okay? So that is minus 40, voila, okay? So that is, and look at that, I have a few examples here, like the root chakra, because the problem with multiple sclerosis is often based, difficulty walking is mainly the root chakra. And this is why I went to go to the root. And look again, minus 50, minus 45, minus 92. This is clear that this is my problem, okay? Well, I should not say like this. That for sure that I need to do some work. And this 2 hertz. I found this 2 hertz in some other program and it came back again. So I really feel that I could, figure out a little bit more. So, but it is, as I said, it is not, let's say, I need more, and this is why I need to go to my eductor. So the idea, you will see how much it is so nice to integrate. Like this 2 hertz, it starts, with minus 99 again. So I can see, where are the frequencies that are, missing. So what is happening with the device? Let's say I will just go into our device because we will look at that. I could say, okay, when we do the NLP, I go to the static small program, and then I have this, what is the root chakra? Where is the root chakra? Okay, this is the base chakra. I can go like this here. Okay, but I do not have, so this is the root chakra. I can do it in some other place, but I just chose this one. Okay, but I have, so the AFE provides us a lot of interesting thing about rectification, but all those numbers are there, but we do not know which frequencies. And this is why, as I said, it's a good, good combination, because just this is interesting, but it is not all. Okay, it is not all for me. Okay, so this is the well-being soul. Oh, I thought, well, this is exciting, but I read the definition and it was not so much that positive. I thought, oh, the soul, I will do this. I did not read all of this, but look, minus 99. Okay, minus 48, and this is me. Okay, and I need to tell you, this is me. Oh la la. So as I said, it is interesting to have some of those measure, but as I said, I need more. I need to have a more understanding about this, because if I read the definition, it was like some addictive, compulsive behavior or something. I thought, oh no, I'm not. Okay, but unconsciously there is. Okay, so again, and regeneration, there are some program with regeneration, and look at that again, those high frequencies. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show to you. And then the protection, those are all the protection programs that we do not need to harness. And there is a fourth edition that is the resonance. This is a picture that had been taken from Healy from some documentation, and it will work more on intention. Okay, in intention, because it's just information. Okay, it's not frequency. So I want to do the demo now. So let me just check how long I did. 1 second, how long we did, our presentation. Okay, we 50 minutes. It's not bad. So let's look at the the presentation here. So, well, okay, frequencies. I need first to tell. Desiree has always talked to us about frequency, about voltage, and she is the leader. I believe that she has been, a leader. Wonderful. And she had put an ebook. You know how she produced so many ebooks. But this one is wonderful, and hopefully you have it. It is related to all the frequencies. Okay, 1 second. If I go back, whoops, sorry. It takes some time. But then look, we have all the frequencies here. But it is not necessarily the frequencies in the Healy. But what I want to show you is that everything has a frequency. And this book that Desiree, she took it from the internet, because I know this website where she took it. So what is important is that, look at that here for the hypothalamus, the pineal and everything. So if I see, like for me, there was a 2, okay, the 2. It's not there. It's not necessarily there. There was the 1.1, okay. Feeling of well-being, it's not 1.1, but I can go like this. Pituitary stimulation of growth hormone, and look at that. So it is wonderful. So if ever you would like to have this book, and if you don't, this is not mine, so it is Desiree, you are so welcome to ask me, and then we will send you the link, because you can download. So this is what is important. What I really want, I want to give the credit to Desiree about, the work that she has been doing on the voltage, on the measure and everything. So what I feel, the way to integrate the Healy in your practice. So the idea is not to include Healy in your session. No. According to me, session should be, I should do my own session with my client, as I used to do, except that if there is some, let's say, if there is a few things that I can delegate. Okay, so I will give you an example. First to go to the Nelson report. Nelson report, it will give you everything. It will tell you the adrenal, like in here, the limbic system. Okay. So do you really think that if I give, 5-minute, stimulation of the adrenals or whatever, that it will solve the problem? No. We need to do more. Okay, you can boost a little bit with some whatever homeopathics or everything, but the key thing is that eventually we need to make sure that we do the session, but then we have to say, well, monsieur, now to maintain your adrenal, I will suggest that you work on Healy on the stress, blah, blah, blah. So the idea, like for the Healy, I need to say to you, you have seen, so many programs. I do not want to say when there is adrenal, you use that program. It depends on your training, on your perspective. You might say, monsieur, your adrenal problem is mainly emotional. Some other people, it's mainly because of stress. Some other people, it's mainly because of the hormone. So again, it depends on your training, your vision. Okay, so this is why I do not want to say, oh well, we have a protocol. There is no protocol. Okay, for linking, let's say, or integrating Healy with the doctor or in our session, but we can share, a lot of experience, and this is what I really want to do eventually. So again, you lose it and you see the heart and the small intestine. What is happening with the small intestine is the assimilation. Again, I will do during the session, some of these harmonization of the what we use, in the nutrition program. Sure, I will do that. But the thing is that I need to say, okay, well, let's do something. And I like always to do this one, the nutrition enzyme hormone at the end, because I don't have time. And then I just go with this one. But sometime I need to say, last 2-3 minutes. 2-3 minutes, it takes some time. And the other day, so what I want to say, I had this young man, okay, young man. And then, so what I did at the end, somewhere towards the end, and I guess you will know why I say toward the end, because this is taken, I need to show you where I took this information, so you know that I am not creating or inventing. But it is not this same man, okay? But I just want to show you the panel. The panel is, the one that is load chart maker color reports. Click, and then you say this one load the chart, hopefully and then you take this big line here. Possible medical diagnosis. Some people would say this is only for doctors. I use it, okay? And then, so this is mainly in here, when we say disease state, okay? So you need to be careful, when you use that, if you talk to somebody. I always talk about stress. I always talk that we are in the bioenergetic body, and so this is, we need to make sure that we have something very much clear, okay? So we can use, all of this thing here, okay? So this young man that I had, okay, this young man, that was this text that was there. Everything like that. I just did a copy and paste, okay, from the doctor possible diagnosis panel. So they talk about the lymph, poor resistance to infection, immune dysfunction, and there was here the development of the blood cell. And this is, when I hear blood, for me it's so important. Inflammation, emotional stress, malabsorption hormone, lymphatic circulation, digestion, well, so can you, and this was toward the end, because we know that this panel will be, I would say, will be fed, through, the more we work with the client, okay? So what do you think? This man, a young man, I saw him, 3 weeks ago, and then when I saw him through internet, okay, through, through distant, session. But then, it was the same type of thing. For sure, the young man, he used some enzyme. He succeeded in getting some enzyme despite the confinement and the lockdown. But then I could give him a little bit of something about the lymphatic, to do exercise, and But the thing is that I need to be more, and he is 32 years old. He's so good. And look at that, already with all those stress, what will happen when there will be 40, 50, 60? So what I just thought, if this young man would have a device, I would just say, okay, well, I did my session, and he liked the session. Okay, so I did my session. So I could say, well, okay, monsieur, we will see again, on a virtual distant session in 3 weeks. Okay, because I don't have time to do more. But because he would have liked to do more, but I don't have time. So in 3 weeks. But during that time, if you have, if he had a Healy, I could say, okay, well, you will work on your lymph. You will look at this immune system. Okay, I could just say, okay, well, you do the therapies on the immune system, and I could show to here. I could say you look on the stress, because he is full of stress, and this is come from when he was born. Okay, this was, and I could say, well, the hormone, 32 years old. How come the hormone imbalance? And this was just so terrible, to see. And to see that 32, the hormone should be at the full development. But no, it was like so much reactivity there. And then the lymphatic, the circulation, the digestion, and amoeba. So again, when we are using the Healy, they say not more than 3 programs a day. It could be more if somebody has a chronic disease, but it has to be done through, I would say, under supervision of a therapist like us and things like that. Like for me, I would start very slowly with one person for one first week, and then the second week I would say, okay, well, add this, and then the third week. So the idea is that, and this is what is wonderful, then you have done your session, and how you can become more professional. You say, monsieur, in 1 week, you go, you remember, he will come in 3 weeks. You say, at the end of this week, I will call you. We'll take 20 minutes, and then we will see which program we can include, okay? I could even redo, a test, 5-10 minutes, 5 minutes, and do a meeting. And then to say, well, according to me, the test, they say that, well, we will work more on your emotional this week and immune. Or I could say, well, okay, we need to look at the, whatever the situation on the test. So this is wonderful. And guess what? What do you think this client will think? Wow, my therapist take care of me. I have a session. Once a week, she called me, 15 minutes, and she tell me what I can do at home with my Healy. And then he does not have to worry about. You need to understand that anybody who has a health problem, they will not say, oh, I don't need Jacqueline. I mean, they still need the coach. And this is so clear for me. They will not say, okay, now I can manage my situation alone. This is not what will happen. Eventually, maybe, hopefully they will. But, again, they will say, wow, my coach is just caring, and then I will eventually get out of there. Or, some lady that maybe did not find their mission, and they say, oh, this is wonderful. My therapist, called me. We do a little bit of coaching, and then she told me, okay, now I need to solve the problem with my mother or this or this. This is what we need to do to develop this, I would say, quantum coaching. And I have this program of this quantum coaching for VIP, very independent person, okay? So this is what I believe that we can do. So also what I believe we can do. So in here, I saw something today, but this is not here. 1 second. I will tell you another thing that you can do. Let's say that you do this coaching, 15 minutes per week. You just call. You can develop this type of practice. Then you can say, monsieur, for the next 3 months, every, once a week or once every 2 weeks, I will call you, half an hour or 15 minutes. Then this is a package, and this is, I don't know, 200 euros or whatever it is, a number of euros. And then you develop this type of package. This is new service. It's shorter session, but you stay home. The client stay home, and then you work, and then and when he come back, you have been in touch with him, and you know what he is doing, and he knows, and he has a plan, and you say, well, before you come, make sure that you work on your liver, because we will work on detox, whatever it is. you know. And then also what you could do, you can do, you know, while your session, you do 1, 2, 2, you know, I guess you know about this number, 1720 or something, the way to get all the meridian. I have here all the meridian. So here, usually, sometimes there is some reactivity. But this young man, you know, I guess, you know, his meridians are it's quite important. But here, look at that, 122, the kidney, okay? I could say, well, look at that circulation, 66, it's kind of weak. Okay, and then I could say, well, okay, where, or maybe the small intestine. Let's say that we will look at the small intestine. The small intestine, yes, it is right there, and we could see that it's, you know, limit. So, or I could say, well, you work, monsieur, on your chakra. And I know that this he need, you know, there is the heart, because he has a heart problem. And then always the brain, okay? And then I could say, okay, let's look today, you work mainly on your heart, okay? Or whatever. And then next week, you know, when we talk, I redo the test. And then I say, well, monsieur, maybe we need to work on the hormone. So the idea is that you could have like a program of like 3 programs, or to say for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you do this and this. You need to design. So this is why it will bring you, you know, exciting. You will need to say, well, okay, what is it that I want to do? I like to work with people who have taken care of their brain or their emotion, because I am more a psychologist person. You can work also, for me, as I had this health problem with autoimmune disease, for sure I will work on the immunity. This is clear for me, okay? And then, so what I could do while I do my session, I can work on the, one second here. I can just go, look at what I wrote, the corona. We can look at the corona, okay? Corona, and then I could say, if the person say, well, there is people in my building that has corona, I would say, well, okay, monsieur, I will just look at, you know, what is the reactivity of the corona. And then I could say, well, now to reinforce the immunity, to protect, you do this. And the man, you know, he is at home, and then he knows that he has 3 people in the building who has corona or has been whatever detected, and then but he feels safe. He feels safe, and this is, you know, life. This is it. You know, you give him the tools so that he say, well, I am at home. I have my device, I have my practitioner, and then I will see her in 3 weeks or after the confinement, the lockdown. So you look at that, it is just wonderful. And you could look at the EBV. For me, as I said, you know, I am an immunity person, okay? For me, it is so important, okay? So I will look at the Epstein-Barr virus. You know about the Epstein-Barr virus. Look at that. There is already some reactivity. I can check that. I always like to look at this one, okay? Then what I could do, I could just look at the Epstein-Barr, I put it in here, individual reaction, and then I know, even if, you know, maybe it was not in red, I just want to do prevention. And if you have read, you know, those books on the Anthony, I forgot his name, about the EBV, hopefully you will find out the name of this person. And if you don't know, you let me know, send me an email, and then we'll give you the book. And then, you know, it is a ebook, and this is, you can have on Kindle, and so easy. Look at that here. And then I say, well, for the EBV, okay, the reactivity 108, well, it is something important. Coherence 99, so rectification 75. Well, let me look at that and link to detox and spirituality. Wow, and then there is some allopathic drugs here, okay? So then I could say, okay, well, this is important. I could say, well, let's look on the immunity. But in fact, in here, it tells me if you want to reinforce the, I would say the immunity phase to the EBV, you could go to the detox. Then I could have a strategy. How will I do the detox with the Healy? First with the doctor, and then with the Healy, how he will maintain. So the idea is maintenance, okay? And then, as I said, people will like even for me, when I did a lot of those sessions because I like to do the Healy to see. And then but I need to have the device, the doctor, to just say, well, okay, now where I am, okay? Because I would say the Healy give us a lot of information, but I want to have the whole picture. I do not have the whole picture, okay? So this is why it's such a nice combination, okay? Very, very, very much interesting. You could go even, let's say, if you say, well, I don't know how to, what to suggest and things like that, I will give you just another example. You remember that here? When I said the low chart maker color report, I just want to show you some of those ideas. Here we have the low chart, go to solution to cure, calculate. So we have here some example, but what I want to say close, and I read this. I'd say fatty acid pool balance. I did a session to the young man yesterday. And then amino acid, good. And then, well, this is all balanced, but for many people, it is unbalanced. So then you can see, okay, well, let's look at the digestion or assimilation and things like that. In here, it would say sarcodine therapy. Huh? Then I could work on the heart, the liver, the kidneys. Sarcodine for me, those are the three main organs, the lung also, and mainly with this coronavirus thing. And then, protect the adrenal, okay, stress reduction. I have full of information here, okay. Then isn't it wonderful? It is very nice. You have some of the panel that will give you a lot of information. And this is what I call the dental. This is my best, final thing. When you know about the dental, I need to start info exchange, and I want to get this memo here, and then we don't know how to get it. I guess teeth table, and then you can check out of this in here, because right away it gives me a lot of things. It gives me a lot of things about the kidneys that are reacting today, and many relate to the pineal and the adrenal. As I said, we have a lot of information, and you can coach your people so short. And as I said, if they come in your office, for sure you want to take maybe 1 hour and a half, 2 hours, because it is so wonderful. This is an opportunity for them to receive, all our own thing about, as I said, the stem cell, the DNA, the nucleotide, the codon and chromosome. And, we don't have that on Healy. So on the blood, and, so there are plenty of things that are not there in the Healy, okay? So what I want is delegate to the client to do those little things so that I can myself be more focused on something interesting. I click dental here, then, whoops. What did I do? I clicked something that is not so good. I don't know. Sorry about that. Well, then if it is there, and then, okay, then I go to memo. I have report memo, and then it tells me everything here. It tells me, pervious energy, so I need to do the protection, and then I could work on the lymph, look on the stress, the trauma, the toxin, and then I can just develop, the program for this young man. As I said, it is there, Nelson report, the possible diagnosis. I have plenty of information. And also for those who say, well, let's look at something a little bit more deeper. And then when I say more deeper, it's not necessarily more deep, but, just the medical astrology. You say, well, okay, I want to say, well, what is it that is, I would say, the young man came, and, what is it that, according to his astrology, there will be probably some weakness in the spleen here. There will be many in the sensory, okay, that is good. Weak endocrine, well, okay. And the emotional, this is what it is happening. And the acupuncture, small intestine and heart, I can just take that and go, because I know he is born with some kind of weakness there. So this is very good. And then if you want to be more, some people would say, yeah, we can have more information. And mainly, when you're working with somebody who is very, I would say, very close to you, it could be even yourself, it could be, but I like always to look at the MISC here and the homeopathic extra, and you have the probable unconscious medical history. I mean, isn't it wonderful? Then I can just read this and look at what is it that I could do with the client. Okay, as I said, I did not read, for him, but look at that again: the limb, the endocrine, the brain, pineal. It is quite evident. But as I said, I can say, yeah, pineal. It is so wonderful. We have a program on pineal. I will just go and do it. You can do it today, and then maybe there will be 100%. Okay, I go here and then I go the static and I have the pineal gland activation. I can do that. This is so wonderful and I totally believe in this, except that it will take maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And then it's not, after just 3 minutes to say, okay, well, we will redo it maybe in 3 weeks. But when he will come back, we'll probably not have time to do the pineal. So somewhere we need to work on something else. And also so if we work and then we say to the young man, well, let's work on your chakra. And then I ask him to work on his brain. Then I will do that and it will go deeper because you know that the FE is what? Autofocus. It will focus on where is the client today. And if he is well prepared, then the result it will be greater. And also, and I need to tell you about my thing, because because as I said, when I say, well, we want to work on the real thing, as I said, my young man, oh well, okay, I had to work on the assimilation to make sure, and I had to work on the brain because it was all confusing, and with all those mobile phone and the Wi-Fi and everything, so I had to work on the brain. But in fact, what I wanted to work was mainly the blood for him because he had so much problem with his mother, and he has a child, and I wanted to work on the blood. But and then I would have liked, and then we came to work on the unconscious reactivity, but I did 2 minutes. I did not have time. My session was, I wanted to have my session 1.5 hours. I did 2 hours, and then so I feel, then what, I felt frustrated. I just thought, well, yeah, I did something good because he was happy. But then I did something good, but for me, it was not deep enough. But I could not go further than that because he was not prepared. So I suggest to him that he could buy a Healy. Then we will be able to do this because I need to tell you, for me, I have been working, with all those things about the nerve and the brain and the circulation. And guess what? During 1 week, I did not do a skill session because I just wanted to see what will be, I would say, the impact. And then when I did my test, the result was, whoops, different. Kind of different. I'm used to see, the fat, non-digested fat, and then the lack of fatty acid, and then the heart and the circulation. Yeah, it's kind of this, I would say, this characteristic that I found, those signature that need to be always. But then, when I did my test after 1 week, a lot of info about it. But first, emotion was good. Emotion here. When I look about the emotion, I always used to have, from me, red, okay, power, anger, yeah, it's there. So, and then it was changed. But I could see all kind of other little things. You know what, those program here, fluorescence, and those here, the healing arts, there was, and the fluorescence more. And I could see that I needed those nice frequencies probably to balance because I was probably ready for that, more ready because I did so much work, with other things. So that was interesting to see how much I just thought, whoops, it was different, and maybe even some situation that was not me. I just thought, no, I'm not like this. But yeah, that was just coming out. So a different reactivities. This was very, very nice. So again, the last thing that I want to show you, and it is, let's say if you go to, you could go to just the time therapy here, and you look at that. Here it is degeneration. We have a degeneration program. in the Healy something about regeneration or degeneration or stress, in fact. So you can do that. You can look at just, the spinal, and then you just go and then you just see what it is that the client needs. And then I just go into the spinal here, and then I could say, well, here is the lung. I could say, well, okay, and then in 1 week, I can say, well, let's look at, the liver. How long does it need today? Let's say I go to holistic organ. It would say we need 22 minutes. 22 minutes means something interesting. I would keep, the liver, and then I would say the heart, because I know that the young man has a problem with the heart. Okay, so it would say 23 minutes. We need to work on the heart here. Okay, so this is the type of thing that we can do. I can look at the pituitary and then draw 7 minutes. So it's like if it is not what is needed now, it does not mean that there is no problem. But so you understand what I mean. You can just try to find out, and you could establish, your source of information, and you say, okay, well, from there, I will be able to draw a little bit of a program. The idea is that some people will use homeopathy. They would say, yeah, I use homeopathy. You can use homeopathy. We are not all doctors of homeopathy to suggest homeopathic doctor, the homeopathic. And about, how we do not want to be, we do not want that the people think, oh, yeah, they are doing illegal medical treatment and things like that. Well, I'm working with frequencies, so I'm not on the same, I'm not on the same terrain than the medical. Okay, so this is why I am. It's very, very, I would say, safe to what I'm doing. Okay. And the very, very last thing, and then we will just complete this, because I guess I took a little bit more time, but I like to do this. And then this is the disease probability. Let's say I told you that I had one frequency, the 11.4, that was minus 99%. Okay, so let's see where is my disease probability. It is coming. So right there. So I could just say, okay, I would create, one. I would add a new name, and then I would say frequencies. Let's say frequency JJ. Okay, frequencies JJ. And this is my frequency. For me, do you want to say yes? I'll say frequencies JJ. I say, okay, well, now I will work on my frequencies. Then I could just say, okay, electroacupuncture and bioresonance, okay, reveal text. I say mainly, for me, what I have found is mainly those frequency 11.4, and then I have the 2, and then I could have whatever it is, that are the frequencies. Then I could say the 11.4. I write 11.4 here. I could always do the +5 -5, but I could go straight, to the frequency directly. I could use, the Rife generator if you know how to use this. Eventually, I will show you later. I said 11.4, okay? Then I will say 11.4, and then level 4. And then what I could do here, I need to tell you, some people I have always looked for what is this polarity. And then I found out, through some documentation what it means. And then, the acid, the right side of the body, the polarity positive and negative. So eventually I got this through some really documentation. So that could be something interesting eventually, if we want to know. And also, about the magnetic and cosmic number. Sorry for the French, but I thought you could translate all of this. Okay, and then then I can work and work very much nicely. I do not need to put something here. I could say, okay, well, I will work on the magnetic, which is maybe let's say inflammation here, that I would like. Let's say, I don't, I just do it very quickly here. And then I could do the physical body is mainly 1. And then I could put the timing here. I could say, well, okay, let's do it for 30 minutes. And before I should have done the quick calibration. And then I just do it because this frequency was so important, and it was minus 99. It does not mean that I would do this with a client, but we never know. A client might say, well, I have seen 3 times this week minus 99 or minus 90%. You say, well, just take a copy of your screen and we'll work on that. And then you could work on this, okay? This is also something interesting that you could do. As I said, it's all depend on, how easy your client can work. And, what I want to give to you here is just possibilities and see how you can add something interesting and then and design something that will be more and more relevant to your client. Okay, so now we need to return to our presentation. Hopefully you have seen, and then hopefully it's interesting for you, okay? And then, so the benefit of integrating the Healy in your practice, you can involve your client more actively in his healing. The client come to your session prepared. So you have less need to do the shortcut code and the liver on this because he did it at home. Optimization of your time with the client. You can address more quickly the real cause of the problem. You increase your capacity of coaching, of education, better coaching at distance between sessions, the urgencies. Let's say urgencies, the person say, well, I have a liver problem, attack, liver crisis, not attack, liver crisis, okay? Well, they say, okay, monsieur, use your device, do this and this, okay? That would be something interesting. Better result for the client. This is sure, according to me. Full support. So we have full support of the head office with technical and professional. The leadership has vision. There is a credibility of the leaders. So this is something that we need. This is all supported by the research. It's easy to learn and easy for the client to learn. It's cheap also. Well, cheaper, okay? Cheaper. I will give you some price later on. Fully certified, CE and the FDA and everything. And this is an interesting residual income for you. And eventually, even the client can say, okay, well, why can I do this? I will talk to my sisters, my neighbor, and everybody. And then you create a network because it is a device that is sold by multi-level marketing. And then this is the way to do the marketing today, okay? So this is the price. There are 4 editions. It goes from, let's say, 500 euro, 1,000 euros, kind of 1,500 and 2,300. Okay, this is the type of a thing. The price, okay, and then the package is that everything is translated in 22 languages. The website, the documentation, the video, the manual, so you do not have to care for the translation, the technical support and professional support. We have some WhatsApp group. This is mainly my group that I create for my people, And then we have some, here I should not say the French, okay? Sorry about that. We have some group on Telegram for the English, okay, or whatever. Spanish, there is some group. I guess, the Greek, you will create a group. Or they exist already, I don't know. There is an academy with all kind of training that they are giving. There is a medical committee. And this is important because it is really well documented. And testimonials, protocol, quick delivery. So this is really something interesting. And we have some videos here. There is some website that you can have a look. And if you need more documentation, I will send you, or we will send you more information. So you can join the Healy adventure as a customer if you get a Healy, or as a member if you build a network and you create some residual income for you. And then there is a promotion for USA, a very limited time. So I do not have the date and I do not want to give the date here. So people from USA, you are so welcome to contact me. And then I will give you all the information, okay? And also what is important, if you want to join the adventure, if you are interested in joining the adventure, please refer to the person who invited you to this presentation or give to you the recording, and whoever, that person. We are working as a team, and then we are working as a team, and we want to create a quantum team, and we will start working, on the way to do, what happened with our client. And if you have nobody, if you just happen to know about this by yourself, you're welcome to contact me, and we will see what we do, okay? So, and this is my all detail. And then we have a Facebook group, Quantum Healy, for those people. This is in English, and we will probably have a few more things, in some other language. I have French for sure, and we have one lady who is doing it in Spanish. And as I said, we can develop, an international group, and then it just, according to me, just adds some more information. Okay, not only information, it will add some motivation, a new thing, and we need to come after this lockdown. We need to come with new thing to renew. I believe that this is I would say there will be a reset of the economy. And I just thought, well, I will reset my life. I will reset my finance. I will reset my approach with the client, okay? I will reset even my own body, because I really want that we get it done. So look at that. I have 1 hour, 30 minutes that I was planning. So this is very wonderful. I really hope that it has been a wonderful presentation for you. It was wonderful for me to introduce, and it is just the beginning, because I do not know exactly what I will use, because I have been, using this device for a few weeks now. And then I really try to read a lot more, because this Marcus Smike is just so much interesting to follow. And I have always liked to follow the mind. I like the mind, too. And this is what is interesting, to see that somebody is there, a young person who wants to develop, and he's developing surrounded with interesting people. And in conclusion, I really want to say that this device, it is not meant for me, and I guess for all of quantum biofeedback, to replace any of the eductor. My eductor will always be my eductor. I have been working with this for 15 years. I always have appreciated what Desiree has done. The thing is that I needed a little bit more, and I found something that is really nice to combine. And I believe that my practice will become more fun for me, and it will be more fun for the client. And it will open up new opportunities to multiply my clientele. It's not because we give a device that people will say, well, I don't need Jacqueline anymore. I think people who knows me as a practitioner, they like what I'm doing, and then they will say, well, okay, madam, I need to say, the other day I received an email from somebody who said, madam, I met you in 2009 in Paris. Do you still give your session of the skill? Yeah, you understand that, this was very nice. Well, I hope people will not wait for 2009. What I want to say is that people will, we need to be able to make a difference in their life, and people will remember us, and people remember us. And I know that people, as I said, this young man, he wants to have more session. I just cannot do it. And I like that if eventually I say I'm so busy that I cannot get to everybody. But now I can just say, okay, young man, I can coach you. I will spend, 15 minutes every week, and then we will meet, every 3 weeks. What a nice opportunity for him, for me. And then we create and build up the relationship, okay? Because during this lockdown, many of our clients, we could not contact them. So again, it is a nice way to add some new way of working, and then I believe that it is there will be a new world, and we need to bring something new to our client, and they will say, oh, this is just exciting, because now we are doing something else. We are doing the quantum coaching, quantum healing. Okay, so thank you so much, and you are so welcome to contact the person who directed you to this presentation. And I am so much available to give some demos, to work through internet, and then with the network that we have. Okay, so we are here. We are a practitioner. I really feel that we can create, as I said, this interesting new service offering. Okay. So thank you so much, and then hopefully I have not forgot anything. I will attach some of the document to this presentation, and if you got only the presentation and you did not get the documentation, you have here my email here. You can always welcome to send me a message, or for the WhatsApp or the Facebook group, and you say, well, hey, I do not have the list of the program, or I do not know if I want to have more information, where to go. Just contact me, and then I will manage, okay? So that is good. Thank you so much, and hope that you will enjoy it. That you will first join the adventure of Healy with your doctor, with your quantum biofeedback device, and then we will continue because I believe we have many things to bring to the people. Thank you so much.